Yes. Once again, welcome back to the Blue Room. On this episode of How I Mixed It, we're going to be looking at the song She's Saying. She's Saying is a alternative hip hop dance song, and it's out on all platforms, the single and the instrumental, as always. So jumping into this, bam, 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 bam. Right? As normal, I'm gonna go through the instruments and how I'm panning and stuff like that. So my first instrument is a viola, and it is straight up the middle. That sounds like this. Yeah. The next instrument is a low resonance, right? And I have that going 41 left and right. And if you look, I'm doing a little bit with the volume, so it's tucked slightly a little bit under how I've mixed this one. Low res. Next, I have a sharp dance piano. Right? And that's going 65 left and right. Next, I have a Uno bass, and it's pan 5 to the right. And as normal, my kick is up the middle. Next is my claps, and the claps is 35 to the left. Next is my snare, and that's 35 to the left, to the right, 35 to the right. The claps is to the left. Next, you have open hi-hats, 60 to the left. You have tambourines next, 60 to the right. Then we have clavs, 81 right and left. Then we're gonna come in with my toms. And as you can see, I left the toms up the middle. Next we have tom 3, which comes in at the end of the 8 bars. So I have one tom playing constantly throughout the verses, and then there's tom 2 and 3. One is going right and one is going left, 10 right, 10 left, and it gives you that kind of this little change that you're hearing. There's another sound that's with this as well, an acoustic snare. But so the main toms, then it jumps into doom doom, right? But that doom doom goes along with this acoustic snare. That doom doom goes along with this acoustic snare. That's pan 46 left and right. So this is how you get the this. It's the toms plus the snare. Right? So that's the basic makeup of this beat. Right? After that makeup, or after those layers of sound, it's just about how I'm laying it out. Intro, chorus, verse, chorus, verse. We've gone through all of this stuff before, but we're gonna look on how I laid She's Saying out this song. Here, so let's get back to it. So, if you look on She's Saying, there's a 8-bar intro. So that is this. And it's the uni bass that leads the intro. And then the uni bass, the clavs, then you have the hi-hats coming in, then you have bits of the melody. So bass, clavs coming in. Okay. Now, I'm going to show you something. So, when I'm creating a section, so like an intro or chorus or whatever, I would have all the sounds, and then basically what I would do is like the chorus, I would have all the sounds, and then I would listen to it. How do I want the chorus section to start? How do I want it? The same thing with the verse. So the basic idea of what I'm saying is all of this would have been a sound. All of the sounds would have been here, and what I've done, chop this down a little bit, then chop out the end because it's the intro. For this one, initially I chopped out just this little bit, but the more I kept bam bam bam, I don't want it to be that active in the beginning, so I cut this. I cut out a bit there, bring that in. The toms don't even come in anywhere in the intro. Neither does the normal snare or the clap. Neither does the acoustic snare or the kick. So all of these things, I use a certain build up, dun, 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 and then it gets to a point where it drops. Dum, 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 dum. Now for this, She's Saying, the layout is intro, chorus, verse, chorus, verse, chorus, verse, bridge, chorus, outro. So again, at this point you can see there's some grayed out sounds because normally I had a layer, so this sound was playing, but the more I kept listening to it, I was like, boom, now let me let this ride with the bass and the percussive parts. This bit comes in at the 8 bar, which is the low res, comes in to join viola with the kick and the bass and all the other percussive instruments. Then when we get into the last 4 bars, this is when the sharp dance piano comes in, and then throughout the chorus the sounds play. So if you listen to this part, it's mainly the bass, the viola, chords, and then the beat section, right? And then this is where the change of the beat is going, right? So once we change, what you will hear is the second part of the chorus, or the second part of the verse. You have the low reds is carrying it a bit, dun, dun, for 4 bars, dun, 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 dun. And then the last 4 bars to close it off, the piano starts to come in, dun, 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 right? And then we drop into where all of the sounds are playing. So basically the chorus on this song is the only part where all of the sounds are there. Throughout the other parts of the song, the sounds are coming in and going out. They're doing their little dance. So the chorus has all the sounds. Yeah. And for the bridge, again, or for the bridge, what you're gonna have is you have the chords, the bass line, the kick is dropped out, the claps are riding, the snare is gone, the toms is gone. So it's basically hi-hats, tambourines, claps, clap, bass line, and the chords. For the bridge, alright, it's the chords. So if I turn the chords off, bass off, so my bridges, so yes, more or less, that's how I'm laying out. That's how I'm mixing. Well, that's more or less to do with the structure, but the panning and all those stuff is to put everything in place where I want it to be. The next thing I'm using is basically reverb and delay to add small bits and portions, the panning and then pulling volume down to blend everything in. What I'm doing different, or what I did different with this, is normally a lot of the sounds, I would put them in place yeah. What I'm doing different is normally a lot of the sounds I would pan them to where they need to be, obviously volume to bring it down, and then use delay or reverb to give it the kind of effect that I would like. I wasn't running it to a bus, or I think it might be better if I just try to show what I'm talking about. So let's jump back into this. So what I would have is I would put everything in place, and then I'd run all of this down to the master bus and deal with it on the master bus. What I'm doing slightly different is I'm running, so the percussive part, I'm running that to a bus and I'm calling it beat comp bus. Basically the hit part, not the melody and the chords. And then after everything is in place, what I'm doing on this bus is slightly gluing all of this, all of these sounds together more, and adding saturation and different kind of limiting and stuff like that to add movement, little bits of movement. There would be movement in the beat already based on how I'm recording it. Yeah? If you look here, the same thing, the instrument or the chords and melody, because that's basically what the first one is, the chord, like a second layer of chords, but it's doing a little funniness and then a melody line. All of that run now to what I call the instrument bus, and I do some of the same processing, add tape saturation, compress it together, bring it, glue it a bit more together, right? When I do the other part, how I do the vocals, I'm gonna jump into all of that. Then I send both those two buses to, where is it? Actually, nope. Those two buses now come to the master bus, and then I do the further loose stuff that